when you own a business, you can be sure there's a lot of people that are going to try to scam you. And for the most part, we're really careful about that and avoided any situations like that. But 2 years ago, they got us good. That's all I can say. They got us really good. And this is the story of how we got scammed for over 3,000 pounds in a very unique scam that I've not seen in how much effort they put in. So this story starts about 2 years ago when we took our first trip for business to Vietnam. We did this for various things like meeting our suppliers, meeting our shipping agent, and we also met with other ProMade and Lash manufacturing companies, which I actually deeply regret, but that's a story for another time. We basically showed them our products and our ideas, and right after we left Vietnam, we found out all of these companies that we went to talk to see if they can possibly produce for us, showing them our ideas. They actually copied a lot of our ideas and started to sell to a lot of people. But in business, you learn these lessons. Maybe you don't want to show manufacturers that you don't currently do business with everything and all your ideas. But the other thing that we went to go do was to meet a really high-end box manufacturing company for our ProMades and lash trays and things like that. So, but at this time we thought, okay, we found this company that produces really high-end boxes. Maybe we can go and negotiate a really good deal for us. And they were making boxes for like Disney, Monopoly, so like really big companies, and they can do a really good job for us. So when we get to Vietnam, we hired a car to take us to this factory in literally the most countryside place you can think in Vietnam. We're driving, and as we got out of the city in Hanoi, which is the capital of Vietnam, as we drive out of the city, you start to see like the real Vietnam, the countryside that probably most of you guys have an image of when you think of Vietnam. We're talking about endless rice paddies everywhere. You have those farmers wearing the stereotypical straw hat. There was like water buffaloes just roaming around the street like everywhere. And I don't know how they know who owns which buffalo, but apparently they do. So we're driving out into the countryside and we finally get to this factory in about an hour away from the capital, Hanoi. So we get there. Okay, so I'm now the person talking to them. I'm speaking Chinese with them. And what's interesting is most of the staff members are Vietnamese and they actually spoke Chinese and not English, which I thought was kind of strange. But anyways, but the head of the organization was there, well, not the head, but one of the executives or managers high up was there, and she is from China. So she's talking to us. We are negotiating, talking to them about what type of box we want. The rest of the day went fantastic. No problems. We ironed out pretty much all the details and we went back. Now this is where it gets juicy. So we are communicating via email at this point because I think we've gone back to the UK from this point. And everything is going well. We're talking about quantity. We're talking about payment. All of a sudden, well, after we kind of basically closed the deal on how much to produce and the price for everything, I get an email from Dom, who I was talking to in the factory, the box making factory. And he's like, hey, can you pay us the deposit here, 30% for the box to be produced? And can you pay it into our European account? So I'm thinking a little bit weird, but it's not out of the ordinary for businesses to have different bank accounts in different countries. For example, we have UK account, we have a US dollar account, we have a Euro account. So it's not particularly strange. I didn't really push back on it. It happens. Some people want to be paid in different currencies. Some of our suppliers, even from Korea, want to pay dollars. Not too out of the ordinary. And the thing is, and I'll show you guys this email, they gave us the bank details. The name of the business for the bank account, the business bank account, actually matches the real business name. So that made it even less suspicious, right? And what made it even less suspicious was this person, the fake Dom, was talking to me like, well, they knew every single aspect of our deal, right? They're talking about the quantity, even in the email. If you're replying to email, as you know, you can see the threads of the older email. So he had all of that. And he's telling me, hey, I just need to pay the deposit. I didn't think too much of it. I was like, all right. And I paid it into the account. And he's like, okay, everything is good to go. So I think a week later, we get another email from the fake Dom He's asking, okay, everything is complete now. Can you pay the full amount before we release? I was like, oh, that's strange. Like, that was really quick. They estimated it take a month, but it was done really quick. I was like, okay, I'm happy. I'll pay the rest of the amount. And the thing is, it went radio silent after a while. So I'm like, hey, what has happened? And one of the things they did, the fake Dom did, if you get an email from Gmail, it will say their name and then their email usually. And their email, the fake Dom, it says like Dom at this business name. And they changed the name of the business by like one letter. So when you're looking at it, it looks exactly the same if you're not paying attention to it really closely. And most of the time, you're not really reading someone's email address, making sure that's exactly the same, especially because they have a business email, like at lashoasis.co.uk, like we do. So it looks legit. And then afterwards, they changed the email to the real email, but for the name of the person. So when it comes up, if you get an email on Gmail, it'll say, this is from Andrew or something like that. They just changed Andrew, or in that case, Dom, the fake Dom, to the correct email. So after the first email, all of the other emails, if you look at it and you don't click and look deeper, it comes up with the actual email of the real Dom, but it's just their name. It's not their email. They're using the real email as a name, if that makes sense. So I didn't realize this happened until later, where I'm trying to contact the box company. It's like, hey, what's going on? And finally, I showed them what has happened. And I'm just like, how is this not from you guys? Because this fake Dom knew everything about us, the company, what we've been talking about. So I'm just like, something has happened where some scammer, whether it's in your company where you've been hacked, I don't know exactly what happened, but that's basically how we got scammed over 3,000. And that was 2 years ago. It's not like a crazy amount to be scammed out of, but 2 years ago, we were a much smaller company. So you can imagine 3,000 is very impactful for us. And it was quite a big stressor at the time, but obviously didn't end us. We figured it out. I've talked to the box company and we kind of negotiated, listen, I guess some of it is on me, but it's just such a smart way to scam somebody almost. Like, I almost feel like, wow, like they put so much effort into it. So yeah, some of it, I guess, will be on me. And I think some of it is on the company, because has to do with like their internal data protection, security, and all of that. So they're not doing a good job, whether someone in the company is scamming people or they have someone hacking them. I don't, till this day, I don't know exactly what happened. We did eventually get all the boxes, and we decided, hey, they gave us not the full 3,000 back. Well, not because obviously the scammer didn't get it back. So we got like a half, like 1,500 discounted off the box. But it's one of those things, when you're negotiating for business, we quickly learn, even if you have the full leverage and you can push for a way better deal, sometimes it's better not to, because in business, it's not just about making money. There's a relationship aspect. If I push too hard, it can really ruin that business relationship sometimes. So sometimes you kind of find a middle ground. Maybe it's not the most you can get. You can probably get way more, but you just got to be smart about that. And however, we never actually used this company again. One, because I can't really trust their internal security in this way. And two, their production time was quite long. And I understand that because their boxes are really high quality and they work for a lot of bigger companies that they prioritize, obviously. So that is the story of how we got scammed really good. I'm interested if you've ever been scammed, and let me hear your story in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching another YouTube video from us. We hope you guys enjoy and learn a little bit about us and our business.